Welcome back to RR Corporates. SEBI Takeover and Delisting Regulations, including mandatory and voluntary open offer. Welcome to this detailed professional session. In this video, we will discuss what is a company must consider when intending to acquire a main board listed entity under SEBI Substantial Acquisition of Shares and Takeover Regulations 2011. Commonly called as the SAST regulations, and if delisting is contemplated, the SEBI Delisting of Equity Shares Regulations 2021. We'll go step by step through all the major provisions, Regulation 3, Regulation 4, and Regulation 6, and related delisting clauses in a clear and practical manner. So we'll discuss on mandatory open offer, Regulation 3 of SAST Regulation 2011. And open offer is a mandatory in a specific situations to protect minority shareholders when there is a change in the control or substantial acquisition. Initial threshold acquisition, so initial threshold limits when an acquirer, along with the person acting in concert, PSC, acquires shares or voting rights. Acquires shares or voting rights, entitle them to exercise 25% or more of the voting rights in the targeted company. It triggers a mandatory open offer. So, initial threshold acquisition is when an acquirer, along with the PSC, acquires shares or voting rights, entitling them to exercise 25% or more of the voting rights in the target company. So it triggers mandatory open offer. And second one is a creeping acquisition beyond 25%. If the acquirer already holds 25% or more voting rights and acquires more than 5% additional shares or voting rights in the financial year, a mandatory open offer is triggered again. The total post-acquisition holding, including shares tendered in the open offer, must not exceed 75%, which is the maximum permissible non-public shareholding under SEBI norms. Now we will discuss on acquisition of control, Regulation 4. An open offer is compulsory when an acquirer obtains a control over the target company, even if the percentage of shares acquired is less than 25%. The key factor here is a control, not just shareholding. Control can be through management rights, appointment of majority directors, or ability to influence key policy decisions. Now we'll move on to Regulation 6, voluntary open offer. A voluntary open offer can be made when the acquirer, together with PSC, already holds 25% or more, but less than 75% of the shares or voting rights. The offer is made for at least 10% of the voting rights. Here are the conditions. No acquisition triggering a mandatory open offer under Regulation 3 has occurred in the preceding 52 weeks. Second condition, after completing the voluntary open offer, the acquirer cannot acquire any additional shares in the target company for 6 months, except through another voluntary open offer. So this ensures market transparency and prevents manipulation through sequential acquisitions. So no further acquisition for 6 months after completion except via another voluntary offer. Is there any restrictions? Yes, restriction on voluntary delisting offer post open offer. If after an open offer, the acquirer shareholding exceeds 75%, they are not eligible to make a voluntary delisting offer under the SEBI delisting regulations for a period of 12 months from the completion of the open offer period. So this cooling off period ensures that delisting is not immediately forced upon public shareholders after an acquisition. And delisting attempt post failed delisting under SAST. If a delisting offer fails, but the open offer results in shareholding exceeding 75%, The acquirer may attempt another delisting under SEBI delisting regulations within 12 months, provided the acquirer continues to hold more than 75% of during that period. However, if the second delisting also fails, then the acquirer must restore MPS, that is a minimum public shareholding, within 12 months from the failure date. So this provision balances acquirer intent with the shareholder protection. Then delisting offer declaration. If the acquirer intend to delist the target company post acquisition, such intention must be clearly disclosed at the time of public announcement, that is PA, at the time of public announcement of the open offer, and the detailed public statement, that is DPS. This disclosure ensures transparency to shareholders and the market. Now we'll move on to the restrictions for delisting eligibility. An acquirer cannot make a delisting offer if during the preceding 2 years the acquirer has been promoter or the part of the promoter group of the target company, in control of the target company, or holder of more than 25% of the shares or voting rights in the target company. This is the restriction. This restriction prevents misuse of delisting to exit minority shareholders unfairly. Now we will see the indicative timelines. Suppose public announcement, PA, if we say day 0 is the starting point, then DPS, detailed the public statement within 5 working days of PA. Then filing, draft letter of offer within 5 working days of DPS with SEBI. Then SEBI comments on DLOF within 15 working days. Dispatch of letter of offer to shareholders, then within 7 working days of SEBI observations. Then tendering period 10 working days, and completion of payment and issue of consideration. These are all indicative timelines. Now here the takeaways are any acquisition of 25% or more triggers an open offer, that is a regulation 3. Then regulation 4, acquisition of control irrespective of shareholding triggers an open offer. Then regulation 6, voluntary open offer can be made between 25% to 75% with the restrictions. Then delisting intentions must be declared upfront. Cooling off and eligibility restrictions ensures fairness to minority shareholders. So this regulatory framework under SEBI ensures that any major acquisition, whether through open offer or delisting, is carried out with full transparency, fairness, and protection for public investors. Thank you for watching this detailed breakdown of the SEBI takeover and delisting regulations. Do like, share, and subscribe for more professional, legal, and compliance insights. Hit the bell icon so that you will not miss any of our latest updates. Thank you.